Hey everybody, this is Dr. Neis, and I'm here to talk about pot. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about marijuana, the icky sticky green weed. And for one thing, it comes out of the ground as a plant. It is green. Who would have thought it's a plant? And the leaves and buds basically are the main part that people use to consume. And the main component of pot is tetrahydrocannabinol, which is also known as THC, and that's the main part that makes people go, basically crazy. That's hence the saying, "What have you been smoking?" Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of medical uses that pot is used for as well, believe it or not. And one of them, it helps with nausea. If you're not feeling so good and you're like, smoke a little pot, it makes you feel better. If you're not happy and you have a huge depression problem, you smoke a little pot and you'll be singing double rainbow all the way across the sky. For real. You'll be that happy. Also, if you have a you know problem gaining weight or you're just never hungry, you can actually smoke a little pot and be hungry. It pot actually stimulates hunger, and you could probably go and compete in all you can eat buffet competitions and win. I'm pretty sure you can. And well, there's other uses as well. It also helps treat with glaucoma. Yeah, if you got a problem with the eye, smoke a little pot. It actually helps treat it. So I don't know if it helps you see better. Definitely affects the eyes though. And also, it has also been known to be a pain reliever. So if someone mistakes you for a zombie and whacks you in the head, ow, dude, why'd you do that? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Here's a little pot. All of that. Smoke a little pot. You're gonna, hey, feel a little better. Now, that's all the medical uses. Now, doctors agree that, yes, it does help. Now, the thing is, a lot of people like to use it as a recreational drug, which a lot of people don't like, you know, because for one thing, pot tends to slow down your reaction speed. Now, in your head, you might be thinking at the speed of light, but your body is moving as slow as a tortoise. You're gonna be like, you be acting like a zombie. So you're like, oh, why am I so slow? So that's another downside. Now, granted, you're gonna be very happy. People tend to be very happy on pot. They're gonna be like, they're gonna throw flowers in you. They're gonna be wanting to hug you. They're like, dude, you're the greatest. I'm like, I know. Get off me. But otherwise, it's flips. Not too many. I've never seen an angry pothead. Don't know if they're out there, maybe, but there's a lot of talkative ones. There's actually some government agencies out in the world that have actually used pot as a truth serum to help loosen the tongue of some people that they want to talk. Now, pot's also been known to let people hallucinate, make you see crazy things. Some can, some don't. It really depends on how potent it is. Some pot has, anywhere from 3% THC to 20% THC, which a lot of people got to figure out, what is too much. Now, there isn't a whole lot of long-term study on pot or marijuana, so there's no real evidence on what it does to you long term, because a lot of people say, well, we're not sure if it helped or didn't help, you know? So there's actually no real research on that, but so far no one's died from it. But it doesn't really help on a lot of occasions, such as you don't really want to work on heavy machinery when you're smoking pot. You don't want to drive a car, because sometimes driving too slow is just as dangerous as driving too fast. Also, you don't want to do it at work either, because for one thing, your people skills goes way down, and your boss is really not going to like it. You're not very efficient. Hi. So, also, it's really more like, if you happen to be in a state that allows it, I suggest just stay at home, relax, because pot's actually along the same size as alcohol. The more you drink, the more wasted you are, the more likely you shouldn't be at work working heavy machinery, or driving. Pot's the same way. The more you smoke, the more reason why you shouldn't be operating heavy machinery, driving, or be at work. Now, there's actually a bunch of ways to consume it. In order to get the full effects of the THC, you have to heat it or dehydrate it, the pot, marijuana, all that stuff. So a lot of people like to cook it into brownies, cakes, a lot of baked goods. You can consume it that way. Some people have turned it into an alcohol, also known as green dragon, or you can actually make a tea out of it. Now, the most common use for pot is the way to consume it is to smoke it, which there are pipes. You can use tobacco pipes or other pipes. There are bongs, which are basically simplified hookahs. There's also paper, which is basically like cigarette paper, also known as joints. There are tobacco wrap leaves, also known as blunts. And there are also vaporizers, which vaporizes it and heats it up and burns it up. And that's one way, and those are the many ways, and there's tons of ways to consume it that people have, engineered or, tested out. And it's very common around the world. Yeah, I'm not here to talk about the legality of it. I'm just basically here to inform you of what it does and how it's consumed. Now, if you happen to try it or smoke it or whatever, please use all caution, and you want to basically stay at a safe place. You do not want to endanger anyone else's life, and you don't want to do anything that is very important, such as, if you're operating a crane downtown in the middle of New York, I highly suggest don't smoke pot, because I don't want a huge piano dropping on my head and smashing me flat. Now, if you happen to be at home, it's late at night, and you know you're not going anywhere, go right ahead. It's basically the same rules you would use for alcohol, for drinking beer, liquor, and all that, or going to a party. The same rules you use for that should be the same rules as you use for consuming pot. So everybody, please, remember, be safe. And if you ever need a medical reason to use it, I highly suggest using it. If you are using it for recreational purposes, I highly suggest you be extremely safe. I can't tell you to do or not do it, so be as safe as possible. And also, have some buddies around, just to make sure you don't go crazy. So, everybody, when it comes to the subject of pot, Dr. Neis says be safe and stay at home.